Hey, everybody. Welcome to the award-winning RotoWire Fantasy Basketball Podcast. It's Tuesday, December 5th. I'm Steve Alexander, Dr. A. He's grumpy old man, cranky old man, Ken the K-Train Kreitz. And we're going to talk some fantasy hoops right after this sweet jam. Ken, I think all of our loyal fans know the drill by now. We're going to do some news. We're going to talk a little panic meter, talk about some hot players. Our favorite segment, get off my lawn, a couple old dudes. Maybe look at a bet or two. Maybe dig up another Dr. A tale from the attic.
I sure hope so. Brush with greatness. I want to hear it.
First of all, what's happening? How are you?
I'm well. Still getting over my Celtics losing last night, but back to not caring about the in-season tournament after caring about it. When your team's out, then you're like, oh, it's stupid. Focus on the championship. But I'm well. How are you, sir? Is it, I know you're down in Atlanta. We have snow here in Vermont. It looks like a Christmas Hallmark special, but how's Atlanta? You're like in a T-shirt.
Oh, yeah, we're good, man. We're good. It was cold this morning. It was like 36, but it'll be close to 55 or 60 today. I may go play golf. I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
I scraped ice off the car this morning. You're going to go play golf.
Oh, well, my son's windows were fogged up, and he woke me up at 7:15 because he got stuck in the driveway because we live on a mountain. So he was off all the way off the driveway, halfway down the mountain. So I had to go take care of that. More antics from my son and his backup failures. So as long as he's going forward, he's okay.
Maybe, yeah. We'll have to hear about that more at the end of the pod.
Yeah, I don't know.
How about those in-season games last night, sir?
Yeah, man. How about them? I'll tell you I'm from Indianapolis, so I'm always sort of been a Pacer fan, always sort of not been a Pacer fan. I was always more of a Dominique Hawks guy than I was a Pacers guy. But I spent all my time at Market Square Arena and at Pacer games. So, and also my bold prediction for this season was that the Pacers are going to win the East.
That was a bet via the heart, not the wallet there, but I like it.
Yeah, well, they wanted bold. I gave them bold. But I like the mix of young and old. Tyrese Haliburton is taking over the world right now. First triple-double. That was surprising to me.
I was shocked, too. I texted you right away. Can you believe tonight's his first triple-double? I just assumed it had happened earlier.
You would think. And I'll tell you my favorite thing about this tournament so far was last night, because now the only game in town, the only game on TV, it's on national TV, and it is a one-game win-or-go-home situation. And it was cool. Like that was fun. I enjoyed it much more than the pool process.
Yeah, I agree. It was fun. I'm bitter about the Celtics, but yeah, it was fun. And hey, you could tell the Pelicans are taking it pretty darn serious too.
Yeah, they wanted to fight. And the Pelicans all of a sudden look like one of the deepest teams in the entire league. I mean, Jordan Hawkins didn't even get off the bench last night.
Yeah. Well, Zion can stay healthy. I'm knocking literally on wood here, but we'll see.
We're going to talk about Zion a little bit later because I don't know if you saw Charles talking about him after the game, but Charles was like, dude, if you're not going to score, you got to get rebounds.
Yeah.
And if you're not going to rebound, you got to score. I mean, you got to do one or the other. You can't just be out there. But at least he is out there and he's healthy. So there's
I do love it when Charles goes to town on someone. He's one of the few people with enough gravitas to get away with that, where players don't whine about it.
Yeah. So news from last night. We already talked about the Pacers a little bit. Tyrese had a triple-double. It was a big triple-double. His averages of his 25, 10. Did you see that stat where it's only him, LeBron, him and Jordan and Grant Hill that have ever done something.
Oh, I did not see that.
I
Whatever
think
it
it
is,
was
I think SGA is going to be there fast. Is fast approaching, but yeah, the Haliburton stats are fantastic. You love how the Pacers are like, he's our star. We're building around him. You know, that's where the fantasy gold is, when a team's all in on somebody and everybody else is a piece to complement him. Haliburton, some of those deep fourth quarter threes, I mean, they're 4 or 5 feet off the line. Pure confidence, knows they're already backpedaling on some, knowing they're going in. I was like, whew, that guy's got some cojones.
Yeah, and the one he hit where he got fouled, he didn't even really get to release the ball, and it still was money. Like, I don't know. Yeah. What did you see with Tatum and his post-game presser?
Did you? Yeah, he's swearing because he has to go home instead of Las Vegas. Yeah. I love how they like Tatum's always playing up the Family Guy and his kids running around, but you know, give him like family time or Vegas. He's like, I kind of want to go to Vegas.
Well, you know, Vegas has been an interesting place because it used to be for adults only, and then like in the 80s they made it all kid friendly, but it was super cheap.
Yeah,
like everybody's like, oh, you get a hotel room for like $40, you get free buffet, you know, take everybody and just go crazy. They get all their money gambling. Now you go to Vegas, it's like your hotel room's $1,000 a night, your buffet is $80, and it's and it's not all that kid friendly anymore again. So anyway, Pacers are moving on. We'll see who they play. They play the winner of the Knicks and
Milwaukee.
Knicks and Bucks.
Yeah.
On Thursday in Vegas. Well, we might as well skip number 2 and go straight to number 3, since that is also related to last night. The Pelicans advanced to the Final Four despite an off night from Zion. Brandon Ingram looked really good with 30 points.
Sure did.
8 boards, 6 dimes. Trey Murphy, 2-game sample size, but he looks awesome.
I was watching a Pelicans game a week or 2 ago. I don't know their announcer crew. It's like an real old guy doing play-by-play and what sounds like a young former player doing color commentary. And the younger guy said, they showed Trey Murphy in a suit, and he said, Murphy's going to be a multiple all-star when his career is said and done. And I was like, ooh, I like Trey Murphy. Love his efficiency, but that was quite the hot take. Maybe a bit of a homer pick. But I've been storing Murphy on my bench in a few different leagues. Love that he's back. And we'll see what Herb Jones's role is moving forward. They may alternate starting those guys. But am I overly excited about Murphy? What do you think, sir?
I don't think you're overly excited about him. I don't think the other dude is going. I don't think Herb Jones is going anywhere. I don't think he's going away. He's going to be one of the best defensive players in the league for years to come.
Yeah,
and he's kind of turned into a monster this season.
Well, and you know, maybe Murphy doesn't need to start. He got 30 minutes off the bench last night, so if he's their 6th man, and probably they want him to be 6th man for a while and bring him slowly back, maybe give him a night off here and there to ease his recovery.
I think it's safe to say that if you're hanging on to Jordan Hawkins or Dyson Daniels, time to go bye-bye. They're too deep.
Yeah. Well, now McCollum's healthy. Yeah.
McCollum is like a 2nd-round guy this year. He was never been a 2nd-round guy. He's always 6th.
Well, it's 7th. The point guard role. It's him playing true point guard, which he never did in Portland. He just boost his assist numbers. And they don't even. You know, oh, he does. He does. Just knock on wood with that whole lung thing. Yeah. But, enjoy it while you can. Let's get back to Kings. Porzingis. I just do want to mention, he is supposed to come back for that game, the next game. As you said, the winner of the Knicks-Bucks game. I think it's Thursday.
If they win and they play Thursday night in Vegas, he would be back for that one.
Yeah. So we'll see. He should be back Friday for their, I don't know what they're calling these. You lose in the tournament game, whatever.
Yeah, and if you lose in the tournament, do you still play on Thursday? No, I
play on those ugly floors, or do you go back to your regular NBA floor?
I don't know.
I'm too old for these in-season tournament floors. They're giving me seizures.
But yeah, Porzingis should be back soon.
Hey,
let's see.
I know you want to dive into the crazy Saturday game. No
Luka.
games on Sunday, which is unacceptable. But yeah, Luka's game on Saturday.
Yeah, I want to know. Like, I woke up on Sunday morning. Let's say I was tired. And my son, the one who can't drive a car,
Yeah, he's
like, did you see what?
Yeah.
Did you see the Luka game? And I was like, no, what did he do? He's like, dude, he had like 36, 18, and 15, and they lost. And I was like, what? And then I heard about the 30-0 run in the fourth quarter, and they still lost.
They don't play, well, they play defense clearly during that 30-0 run. But, you know, there's a real problem that Kyrie and Luka don't play defense. And to have both of your guards be sieves is kind of a problem. You know, Luka kind of turns it on every now and then. Kyrie,
I was going to say, I feel like Luka at least tries to play defense.
He tries.
He puts a body on somebody. He alters a shot now and then.
He's
Kyrie
harder to post up, but you can blow by him. Kyrie is like, you know.
But, you know, Kyrie's got the foot again.
Fake arm moves around, pretend he's giving effort.
Kyrie didn't play that game. He's got the sore foot again, day to day. Derrick
Lively, sir.
Derrick Lively went crazy.
Breakout. 20 points on 9 of 9 shooting. Probably won't go 9 of 9 every night.
Ton of blocks.
16 boards, yeah, and 7 blocks. Hello. The FSGA Expert League, he's a free agent, so I bid crazy money for him in that. We'll see.
I mean, you have to. And he's shown signs of doing that all year. They need a big man out there clearly to play defense and get rebounds.
Are you saying you're willing to give up on the Powell Kleber rotation?
I am. But, you know, also Dallas got off to a really hot start to the season. Everybody's like, ooh, MVP Luka. And, well, they're 3-6 over their last 9. Starting to catch up with him. I'm surprised his back hasn't given out yet from carrying the entire team on it.
Yeah, they need some defense there. Lively could be the rim protector they've needed for a while. We'll see, but he
certainly meets the eye test to this point.
Absolutely. All right, and we got so we probably should explain this whole schedule. Tonight we got 2 in-season games. You mentioned one, Knicks at Milwaukee. The Bucks are 4.5-point favorites. And then the second game out west, Suns at Lakers, where the Lakers are a 1.5 favorite. I think LeBron's game time decision calf, but he hasn't missed a game. Is that just phony baloney reporting by the Lakers to play it safe?
Well, they're mixing it up this year because last year they were both questionable in game time decisions, him and Anthony Davis. Well, this year Davis is probable every night, and James is a game time decision every night. So they got to keep it guessing. I don't know. I mean, you know, LeBron's playing in this game, right?
Like got it, right?
He's not going to miss
spotlights, national game, crazy in-season tourney.
Only game in town. He has to play. So I think they're both going to play. We're going to talk about it at the end, but I really like the Lakers tonight, actually.
The question on the Lakers, though. Question for you on the Lakers. Is now trade high time with Anthony Davis before the inevitable street close injuries kick in?
Yep. It's probably trade high on Anthony Davis. When Porzingis comes back, it's time to get rid of him. Wembanyama threw us a little red flag last week.
Sure did.
But they were only playing 2 games, and then he sat out 1, so then it's a 1-game week, and that just killed me. But yeah, there's a bunch of guys that my buddy Keelan, Coach K, was on here a couple of weeks ago, and he was talking about Anthony Davis and Porzingis and Wemby, and he was like, get rid of all of them, trade them all, solve your headache now instead of later. But you know,
well, and I think the Celtics particularly learned their lesson with Malcolm Brogdon last year. They pushed him a little too much during the regular season, and then he got banged up in the playoffs, and they'd be crazy to do the same risky thing with Porzingis. And then with Wemby, right? What are the Spurs playing for this year? They're going to be in the lottery again. They need they probably need to they got to upgrade a point guard. They're probably salivating at college point guards right now. They don't want to win now.
I mean, what is Pop doing exactly? Are they tanking? are they trying to lose every game they can? Because they've lost like 13 or 14 in a row, 15 maybe. The cool thing about Wemby, he only needs 20 minutes. I only need him for 20 minutes a night. And I'm good. He'll get 4 blocks. He'll get 9 rebounds.
We're going to be here about his back and then a knee or ankle thing all year round.
No, just give him his 20 minutes and put him on the bench, and I'm good with that. Let's let the man play.
All
right. Underdog Fantasy, kid, is the #1 platform for NBA best ball and DFS player pick'em contests. If you haven't tried Underdog yet, new Underdog users receive a first-time deposit bonus up to $100 and a free 6-month subscription to RotoWire with promo code RWNBA. That's promo code RWNBA. Visit UnderdogFantasy.com or download the Underdog app today and use promo code RWNBA to claim your free RotoWire subscription and deposit bonus.
Free. That's promo code RWNBA.
Look at this. I got me a little Christmas present. I'm fired up about it.
Who loves you? Who loves you, Dr. Egg? RotoWire.
Apparently you do, I guess. There's not many of you around.
I didn't pay for that. That was corporate funding.
There's not that many people out there who love me, but the ones who do, I get cool stuff like RotoWire swag.
You know, we should find out from Jake if there are extra RotoWire travel mugs. Maybe we make that a prize on our next pod. I don't know. Best live question. I have not been reading the live question. I tried one.
Oh, there's 29 in there.
I know. We got people that like us, apparently. I'm sorry.
Do we want to? Let's see here.
We're going to pick one out. Should we pick one out before we
I bet there's a question here about.
Oh, yeah.
About a guy. Oh, almost all these are from the same dude. Yeah. Oh, there we go. I just got offered Harden and Jaren Jackson Jr. for my Haliburton.
No.
Hardcore win trader fair. I'm not quite sure what that hardcore is.
No, you keep Haliburton. Come on, this is crazy.
Well, one of the things I was going to say is who's scaring us right now? We were getting ready to talk about the panic meter.
Mm-hmm.
Jaren Jackson Jr. was the first guy on my list.
Yeah.
He's down in the 80s ranking wise. He had a great game. I think his last game he played, he was
30
awesome.
points. The blocks are down, which is the biggest bummer. They're still pretty elite, but they're not.
The shooting's awful.
It's insane. Yeah, exactly. And that's just their offense is terrible. You know, like who's setting them up? They don't have a point guard on that team. Marcus is out. We all know Ja's out. So he's got to create his own shot, which is not traditionally what he's had to do. But the drop from 51% last year to 42% this year is frightening.
Very. It is. And, you know, back to point blank Mish. Let's go ahead and throw this up here. To answer your question, I'm with the K train on this one. You keep Tyrese Haliburton. I don't think you want to deal with James Harden on your fantasy team this year.
I don't know if that was deal with James. You and Ty Lue were like, oh, jeez.
I saw something on Twitter like, hey, man, I just need 10 games to get my bearings here. And it's like game 11, 7 points, 4 turnovers, 3 rebounds.
What was the PJ Tucker quote, which I'm not sure has been verified? I saw other people quoting PJ Tucker saying, there's not enough basketballs in the world for this team.
Not to go around, just the entire world.
Right.
You can get all the basketballs from the entire world, and there's not enough.
Yeah. All right, well, that was a little impromptu live questions. Maybe we get a little more at the end. Maybe I'll try to answer some live ones while you come up with your brush with greatness story, unless you've already.
Oh yeah, we can look at that. I haven't even thought about what I'm doing for that.
Right, who else is on your panda? You have someone on your panda meter that I agree with. Cade Cunningham, just that. I mean, the whole organization, the whole team. Shannon, you know, my Friday co-host, is a lifelong diehard Pistons fan, and I gave him what's usually my old man rant slot. And it went like 20 minutes. Monty Williams, highest paid coach of the NBA. Hey, nice work, Monty. Good to see it. Way to tank Ivy's trade value. Oh, but he was going in and out of so many topics, and I just felt bad for him. That was a proud franchise.
Well, I think Ivy is making a comeback. I'm not too worried about Ivy anymore. I think it's a good time to get in on Ivy if you can.
You're off the Killian Hayes bus.
Yeah, I was never on the Killian Hayes bus. That was one of those buses that
never left the station.
Never left the station for me.
Or is that a little bus? A little
bus.
Oh, can't go there. Oh, hey.
Cade is deceptive because his core numbers, the counting stats look fine. But when you add everything together,
points league, it's great, right?
Yeah. When you add it all together, he's just, I can't tell if he hurts you or helps you.
It's 3 years in a row. Granted, his second year is pretty short, but 3 years in a row shooting 41.5%. At what point is that not just rookie jitters and a real problem? Your lead shooter can't be under 42%. That's like Marcus Smart, lead defensive player can shoot that, but not your offensive lead player.
Yeah, he's not a good shooter.
And then the TOs are up too. He's at 4.5 turnovers. Ugh, come on.
That's awful.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean he's hurting teams more than he's helping, even though you'll see him go for like 24, 9, and 6, and you're like, oh, that's pretty good. But there's no steals, there's a bunch of turnovers, there's poor shooting.
You've got to be in a points league for Cade. So hopefully you hope the name value can help you in a trade deal, or there's a Pistons fan.
Yeah, his name is bigger than his game for sure right now.
Yeah.
And then Julius Randle, dude, like he's the very last player that shows up in the stats, in the rankings on a certain website that I have looked at. 188. He's got to be about the same place in RotoWire's rankings. He can't shoot. He's not blocking shots. He's not stealing. He's turned the ball over.
He had 2 single-digit point games in the last 5.
Like you cannot rely on Julius Randle to do anything.
Do you think that the Thibodeau constant yelling has just worn him down? Like, I think some players love to be coached and some frankly do not. And Thibodeau strikes me as one of those guys whose voices you get tired of hearing pretty quickly.
Not only his voice, man. I'm just looking at his face while he's over there on the sidelines, like arms crossed, and just like
he should play the Penguin in whatever the next Batman movie is.
He looks like he's, in a massive amount of pain on the sidelines, and he's just screaming at people at all times. And I'm sure they're just like, look, old guy.
Right. Like old man who's never won anything.
Don't care. I really don't care right now. I can see Julius Randle being like, yeah, I don't care.
Yeah. Thibodeau looks like he can't wait to go home to kick his dog.
And then I think along with your memorial permanently panic meter listed player, Andrew Wiggins, we should probably throw Jordan Poole and Tyus Jones on there as well. Like those 3 guys are just permanent. We have to.
Poole doesn't surprise me. I knew Poole would be in over his head and couldn't be a team leader. But Tyus Jones, I thought, finally, opportunity for Jones. He's earned a starting gig. And he's been just Melbatos, just nothing, just not seizing the moment. I get it that probably Poole drives him nuts, but I had higher expectations.
Horrible. Yeah. All right, who you got? Who's on your panic list?
Well, Cade and Wiggins, I mentioned. Mikal Bridges, he's turning it around. So this was more panicky last week, but I certainly expected more upside from. Right now, he's kind of an early 4th-round pick value, though everyone took him in the 2nd. Versus last year's just with Brooklyn stats, his points are down, his turnovers are up, his threes and 3-point percentage shooting are both down, and his free throw shooting's down. I do think he'll turn it around, but those were a scary first 15 games. And you know what I thought with Johnson out early, and then Cam Thomas was out, we'd see Bridges really carry that team like he did second half of last season, and it didn't really happen. Hopefully it's just a slow start. I'll say this, though. Brooklyn now that they're healthy, I love what Nick Claxton's doing. Nets, I think, are a real challenger in the East. I know I'm getting off topic, but I'm happy to see the Nets healthy and see what they do.
I agree with you. I mean, they look good. I mean, if Cam Thomas is going to do this all year, and I think he might, and that's like your super sleeper, my 30 deep savior.
6th man of the year, baby.
This will be the first week I've had him in my lineup this season in 30 team. So I am very, very excited about that.
I mean, I think his real role is 6th man off the bench. You know, when he goes on a heater, you leave him in there. He's always going to shoot. And whenever anyone's hurt, you stick him in the starting lineup. But yeah, excited about Cam Thomas for sure.
What about Spencer Dinwiddie?
Oh man, he's a roller coaster. And he was very
better
pleasant
than Tyus Jones.
last year. Yeah, he is. Well, that's yeah.
I mean, he's a veteran. Like he's actually not a bad guy to be putting in the middle of the Cams and the Knicks and the whoever else.
He's kind of a shoot first point guard, where I think they'd rather he be more of a distributor. But what's so befuddling to me with Dinwiddie, and I have him in some keeper leagues because he was cheap last year. He's a veteran, right? So why is his performance so roller coaster? Like, it's not like he's getting acclimated to the NBA. Here's a guy whose role should be pretty clear. They don't really have a great backup point guard. Why is it so dicey what Dinwiddie's role is? I don't know. At first I thought it was Simmons, but we haven't had to deal with Simmons for a while, and he's still up and down.
Who?
Exactly.
Wait.
In fact, why did I even say his name? It's so pleasant not to say his name.
Who are you talking about? Did you say Simmons?
No. Sorry, I was referring to an Australian ghost that I saw. Kangaroo.
The Australian ghost.
We have to start nickname. That could be a keeper. Yeah, exactly.
That's good. That's good. The Australian ghost. And then here's the little shooting guard that is going to disappear now that everybody's healthy. Why can't I think of people
for the Nets?
Names?
For the Nets?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Boy, I don't know where you're going with this, but let's look it up.
The dude
not Cam Thomas.
No,
not Lonnie Walker.
Guy. Lonnie was kind of balling there for a minute, but I think
he always does that. He's been a tease with the Spurs, with the Lakers, and now that he's going to have 4 great games a season. And good luck predicting when those 4 great games.
I think he's already had them. I think we've taken care of that. They're already done. But he's going to go away. Like I've got him on a roster too right now, but
they're healthy. The Nets
like the Pelicans.
Now the Nets are healthy, just like Hawkins. Yeah,
it's time. It's time to move on.
Yeah, because honestly, they love playing defensive guys like Royce O'Neal more, DFS. So he's not going to be Dennis Smith. That was the bad backup point guard I was trying to think of.
DSJ.
Who should not be pushing Dinwiddie for minutes. Though Mavs fans, they used to think he was the savior. Remember how many years ago did you think, did the Mavs think Smith and Luka forever were going to be the dream combo? That seems like 1,000 years ago.
Yeah, it was. All right, Ken, you got some get off my lawn?
I am tired of NBA players complaining about every call. Every call. Ime Udoka was right when he yelled, "Stop bitching" to LeBron James. It's a terrible look for the game. Get back on defense. Play the damn game. I love Jason Tatum. 6 Celtics homer. But, man, Tatum complains on every call when he should be getting back on defense. It's the one thing I hate about Tatum's game. That's my get off my lawn. What's your get off the lawn?
It's a good get off my lawn, and I'll talk about Luka Doncic because he's my guy, and he complains more than Tatum and LeBron put together, I think. Like, he complains after every single play.
Yeah.
Literally. And you're right, man. Let's just get out there and play.
I know, look, the refs aren't perfect. Yeah, they're humans. This game is played at such a speed and pace and tempo. I don't know how refs keep up with Pacers games. I'd be like at my knees trying to keep up with with the wicked pace the Pacers are going. But so they're going to miss some calls. Play defense. You make it worse when you miss a shot badly, then complain about the call, and the other team goes down and gets an easy layup. That's like a 4-point play. Oh, it drives me nuts.
I'm going to go back to an underdog bad beat from last evening that involved Obi Toppin of the Pacers. His
Who's
over
6'9", 6'9", Obi Toppin. Yeah.
Over was 3.5 rebounds. Like, he's going to play big minutes. He's playing against Boston.
Fast pace means a lot of shots, which means a lot of rebounds.
He's got to hit the boards. I hit 4 out of 5, and Obi Toppin finished with 2 rebounds. I'm pretty sure he had 0 in the entire second half. So thank you, 6'9" Obi Toppin. And then Jordan Hawkins was in my dang FanDuel lineup.
Oh.
And he played – he had not sat out any games thus far. Right. He was playing well. He only had to score like 9 points or something. And I would have been fine, but he didn't even get off the bench. So I guess he's done. I guess that run is over.
Trey Murphy plus 24 point differential last night. Plus 24. That could be the death of Hawkins right there. But back to your Toppin rebounds. I had the over on Al Horford getting 7.5 rebounds. He got 4 in the first quarter. I'm like, easy money. He then got 3 the rest of the game. In fact, Tatum twice stole rebounds from him. I'm screaming at the television, what are you doing?
Well, Horford's been so good since Porzingis went down. I thought I thought he was going to have a big game yesterday.
And they rest him for Kornet in less meaningful games, but I'm like, this is in-season tournament. Big Al did play 31 minutes, but he took 3 shots.
And guess who outplayed him? Kornet. Kornet was making
He had 2 thunder jams.
And he was making hustle plays. He was getting Tommy points.
He really was. He was the green Kornet. It was fantastic. Yeah. That was awesome. Peyton Pritchard 0 for 5. Oh,
that was I can't roll with Peyton Pritchard unless I know somebody's not playing.
He needs a true point guard to set him up, and they're pairing him with Banton, the former Toronto Raptor youngster who's like 6'10" at point guard, crazy length, but he's not really a point guard. He doesn't set. So Peyton's always trying to score off the dribble, and that's not his game. He needs to catch and shoot some easy threes to get in the groove. Who are you? Let's get to hot players. Who are you excited about?
K-Train. Who are some?
We have tech issues.
All right, I was going to ask you. I'll go first.
You go first.
Scottie Barnes is returning first-round fantasy value.
Finally.
What?
Last year's
Barnes,
big breakout
blocking
just delayed
shots.
a year. Just delayed a year. The breakout was just delayed a year.
And I didn't see it. I didn't see it coming, man. I was like, is Scottie Barnes really ever going to be as good as we think he's going to be? And I mean, we're only 20 games in, but he looks amazing.
Well, it's only his third season. And remember, every article was like, the only way the Raptors can improve this year is if Scottie Barnes, breaks out. I don't know. But yeah, the blocks, 1 1/3 blocks a game is fabulous. Shooting more, and yet the shooting percentage goes up, not down. Fabulous. And 9 boards. Man, the boards are fantastic.
I mean, I thought they were talking about making him a point guard, but he's playing more like a power forward.
Yeah. Well, he's still getting 5.5 dimes. He might be. Is that more than Schroeder? He might be getting more assists per game than Schroeder, because Schroeder is a shoot first PG. But let's see what
he's also destroying OG Anunoby in the process.
Yes, he is. Schroeder's got 7 assists a game. Oh, I take that back. Sorry, Dennis. I owe you an apology. OG is killing me in multiple leagues. Yeah, what? Isn't he in a walk year? Isn't he and Spicy P? Isn't this the last year of their contracts? You can't keep both those.
I believe so.
They can't keep both those guys. They may not mind OG losing value.
Well, OG, I mean, he's fantasy value. He was like 3rd round last year. He's like 8th or 9th this year. It's like, it's drastic. It's
The
not
percentages have tanked, haven't they? Let me look this up. I feel like, yeah, he's gone from almost 48% to 46%, but his free throw shooting is down to 57%. How does that happen? How do you go from 84 to 57% in one season?
Ask Andre Iguodala. He did it multiple times.
Good point. I assume that was just age, though, because he was like 48 when he retired or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, Scottie's rise has led to OG's fall, it would appear.
Okay. Well, you're taking a big name and pointing out how he's even playing better. I'm going to go the opposite route and make a free agent scrub suggestion. Malik Beasley, who I hate in real life because his defense is terrible, but in fantasy, he's their catch and shoot guy. There's no Grayson Allen there anymore. Connaughton and Crowder are both hurt. Beasley's getting crazy minutes because their bench now is bad. And look, do I want him on the Celtics? No, I do not. But do I like him catching, shooting threes? And he's rebounding, which is shocking to me. It's probably a 2 or 3 week run. But check Malik Beasley is a very cheap pickup in your waiver wires.
I totally agree with that. He's the guy. Who are some other cheap pickups right now that
well, maybe not cheap, but if old man Mike Conley is out there, he has been steady and reliable. You know, Conley ranks 50th in total stats in 9 category leagues. He's got a 6-to-1 assist to turnover ratio. He's hitting over 2 threes a game, and everyone just assumes he's semi-retired. But you can get him on the cheap.
He's pretty rough, man. And you've been talking about him for a minute, so this is not anything new. I think Derrick Jones Jr. On days when Kyrie Irving's not playing, he's been balling out for Dallas.
Great DFS option. His minutes sustained though when they're healthy. I don't know if.
I mean, I don't know, man, but his game log is 33 minutes, 31 minutes, 34 minutes, 20 minutes. So he's played 30 in 3 in a row. And in those 3 in a row, he's kind of balled out.
Yeah. We'll see. Green's been out. Hasn't Green missed a few games for them?
Yeah, but I think they're done with Green.
Oh, really? Oh,
I feel like, well, not done, but like Derrick Jones Jr. can help us right now. We're tired of waiting for Green.
So Green's going to the bench.
Turn into this thing.
Dr. A, let's mark this day and time and get to this when I'm back 4 weeks from now.
4 weeks from now. So yeah, Derrick Jones Jr. is a guy I have been grabbing.
I always thought when he went to Miami he was going to do well, and then he signs with Chicago when they had that big 3 that are not very big, and you're like, he's not going to get any minutes in Chicago. And then
I've never been a DJJ guy. I just think that I think Luka likes him. I think Luka trusts him. And Luka needs somebody to trust because he ain't got much.
You should replace the Neek jersey back there with a Luka jersey because your heart clearly
several of them.
All right,
I'll do it right now. But the other guys I had on my list, they're all big. Well, they're mostly big names. Chet Holmgren, first round fantasy value. Thank you very much, everybody.
Yeah,
for doubting him.
I was one. I assumed the injuries would pile up. I did.
It's early. Herbie
it still happened.
Herbie Jones, 3rd round value. CJ, 2nd round value. We talked about these guys. Then Malik Monk, which you didn't get into when we were talking about the Kings, but you don't like the Kings bench other than Malik Monk.
Other than Monk. What do they have? Alec, they have no, with Sabonis as your center, you need somebody else as a rim protector, and they don't have him. Trey Lyles. No, not going to happen. That bench scares me. Sasha V, EuroLeague MVP, has not really panned out for them. I think he's only averaged less than 6 points a game. That Kings bench scares me. But back to cheap, good pickups. How about JJJ, but the other JJJ in Miami with Bam Adebayo out a week? Hawkins Jr.
Hawkins Jr. We had a discussion about him on this podcast a week ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, when they're back at full strength, I get it. Like Jaime has turned heads. He's won Spoelstra over. He's won his teammates over. He looks right out there.
Mm-hmm.
And guys are like, but is he going to get 30 minutes? And is he still going to be worth having? And I was like, I don't think so. But now I'm not so sure. Like, I think they sort of need him.
It's almost like, though, they'd rather he lead the bench squad than take Highsmith's role in the starting lineup, right? Like, with the starting five, they want Bam and Butler taking all the shots, or Hero when he's healthy. And so I think they're happy with Jaime leading the bench squad, kind of in a Manu role. But we'll see. I think he's going to get his minutes, but whether he starts or not, 30, you're right, might be a problem. But when Bam first got hurt, who was that in that win they had? Was it Indiana? They let Hawkins play Caleb Martin and Butler for like a 15, 16, 17-minute run where they just left the Pacers in their wake. And you're like, oh, it was impressive because, yeah, he passes well from the perimeter. He's posting smaller guys up. It's an all-around game that you could see Spoelstra really likes.
Yeah, and I think his teammates like it too. He's out there, dapping people up and chest bumping everybody and getting them fired up. Like, I don't know, man. I think Jaime Hawkins may be worth holding on to for the entire season. So
yeah.
That's a good one. What you like on the gambling side of things tonight?
I'll go gambling, and then you think about your awesome brush with greatness. And maybe I can answer a few of these live questions that are coming in. That's a lot of multitasking on my end. I'm not sure I can handle that, but let's see. I'm getting ahead of myself. Sorry. My bet tonight, I like the Knicks at plus 4.5 at Milwaukee. The in-season tournament just changes things. You saw it with the Pacers manning up against the Celtics last night. Bucks and Knicks have only played one game this season. The Bucks won it by 5, but the Knicks shot under 40% in that loss. And the Bucks hit 51% of their threes. I don't think that's going to happen again. What to me was more telling from that one matchup was that the Knicks out-rebounded Milwaukee 56-41, and I do expect that to continue to happen. The Bucks are missing Crowder and Connaughton. They've really struggled to have some bench production. And I think the Knicks might care about this more. Milwaukee has grander plans, so I'll take the 4.5 points for the Knicks tonight.
All right. I'm going in underdog. I'm going with Malik Beasley higher than 1.5 blocks and steals.
Okay.
It's got a pepper next to it, which means it's a fire pig. It's like 1.5 times money. So yeah, I'm kind of feeling Malik Beasley. I'm also feeling Brook Lopez higher than 5 rebounds.
Okay.
And I'm feeling Isaiah Hartenstein just needs to get me 1 block. One block.
As you pointed out, the way Randle's playing, Hartenstein should get a little more minutes, right?
Should. And then I have got Anthony Davis in the little article I wrote for ESPN. I've got Anthony Davis winning the MVP of this in-season tournament, which means the Lakers need to win it all, which means they need to win tonight. And it's Lakers -2 against the Suns. I'm going with the Lakers -2. I think if AD and LeBron come together on the same page, Austin Reeves plays well, good things can happen. So.
Honestly, I think a one-and-done format plays to the Lakers' advantage, right? Like, those guys can't stay healthy for a 7-game series, but one and done, perfect. Those old guys could do that and then take the next few days off. Hey, RotoWire client Underdog has really won you over. I love how you're all in on the.
I'm all in. I play every day.
Yeah.
I put like 12 lineups in for $1 a piece, just trying to win the lottery. It's fun.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Until I end up in gambling hospital.
A buck a day. You can sell that RotoWire travel bug on eBay.
No, I'm one of those guys where I know my limitations. They always say, don't bet this if you don't think you can afford it. Oh, I know. I got that covered.
And frankly, it's sadly $1 still gets me excited.
Dude, it's all it takes. It's just the love of the game.
All right, you think about your brush with greatness story. I'm going to try to pick off a few of these live questions. One says, do I drop Killian Hayes for Derek Lively? Yes, yes, and yes. I can't say that emphatically enough. Trey Murphy has the higher ups. Oh, wait. Somebody's asking Murphy or Brogdon. You got to go Trey Murphy just because he's going to be healthy. Brogdon's going to drive you crazy on nights when he does or does not play. Absolutely go with Trey Murphy over Brogdon. I really hope, by the way, that Dr. A is getting some fabulous memorabilia. He has an insane memorabilia collection. A DFS question. Should I pick Portis tonight or pick up Herb Jones for Thursday? I think I go with Herb Jones. I think that's a bit of a coin flip. Oh, I do see some paraphernalia. Let's see what we got here. I can get Bane for LaMelo should I accept. I would take Desmond Bane. LaMelo Ball's game count. It's going to be a problem all year. Oh, you go into Luka. We might have to either tilt your camera down more or raise the jersey rack to see these better. But I'm talking to a man with his headphones off. Sorry about that.
Did you survive without me?
I rattled off a bunch of answers from the live questions, which our fans very pleasantly entered. Thank you very much. Is there one let me see if I can do one. Thoughts on Reeves rest of season? Austin Reeves is going to drive you nuts. He's never going to be, he might not be top 3, top 4 options at offense. I'm not a big Austin Reeves fan. I think he's a little more popular for reasons I'm not allowed to say on this podcast.
Wow. I am an Austin Reeves fan. I was expecting him to be a focal point, the third cog, if you will, for them. And I still think there's a lot of time and hope for that to happen.
I think D'Lo doesn't care to pass. He will pass to Hall of Famers. But I'm not sure D'Angelo is going to be giving the ball up much to Austin Reeves.
D'Lo has looked really good at times.
He has.
Here too.
He has.
All right,
Steve, give us your brush and greatness story.
What I've got here, what I left you by yourself for is this is a Karl Malone autographed Akeem Atonic.
I was like, what is that brand? What is that brand?
These are the Atonic Dreams. This is Akeem's signature shoe back in the day. And these were neutral gray, but Karl, as a rookie, colored this in purple with a marker.
Nice. Utah
and he was
purple.
He was wearing these. And then this is a Wayman Tisdale Reebok.
That was his Pacer days, I assume, right?
Yes.
For Tisdale?
Yes.
Yeah.
So anyway,
that was Reebok when Reebok was in the game and paying a lot of money for players. Yeah.
Yep. I was a big Mailman fan when he was at Louisiana Tech. I thought the Pacers should take him instead of Wayman Tisdale. Pacers took Wayman. So Wayman was always good to me. Rest in peace, Wayman Tisdale. Great guy. So Mailman comes off the elevator. I'm like, oh, hey, Mailman. Like,
this is the stadium in Indiana. This is maybe fans don't know, right? Where would you camp out after Pacers game, and what stadium are we talking about?
Well, this is before the Pacer game in the Hyatt, downtown Indianapolis.
Okay, thank you.
So the elevator doors open. This is 1984, somewhere in there. Yeah. Doors open on the elevator. Mailman comes out. I'm like, Mailman, what's up, man? We should have taken you instead of Wayman. Wayman Tisdale's garbage. You're the man. Just talking all his trash.
Just pandering.
Oh, just trying to work the angle. He's like, thanks, man. And I'm like, do you think I can get your shoes after the game? He's like, yeah, man, I got you. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I'll just be waiting outside the locker room. He's like, sounds good, man. Sounds good. He like really couldn't care less, actually.
He just wasn't. Can I just get through this lobby? Can I just get to the team bus?
I walked with him to his team bus and dissed Wayman Tisdale all the way there. So So he gets on the bus. I'm like, all right, man, good luck. Play well tonight. I was like, yeah, I'm going to get mailman shoes. Like, I'm so excited. And so after the game is over, I don't remember. I've got the stats somewhere, but I don't have it handy. But mailman or all the Jazz players come out of the locker room. I don't see mailman. And so, like,
he's making an effort to dodge you.
Bobby Hansen comes off the bus or something, whatever. And I'm like, hey, Bobby, do you know where mailman is? He's like,
which I know reserves love being asked about the star players.
He's like, dude, he went back to the hotel like 20 minutes ago. Like he got a private ride or some stuff. I'm like, no. So I ended up walking back to the Hyatt with Bobby Hansen and Mark Eaton and another Jazz player, Rich.
Okay.
I can't think of the guy's last name.
It's hard to just quietly walk anywhere with Mark Eaton, I would think. Like,
it is.
I stand it out like a human tree.
And they all wanted to go somewhere to eat, but it was like Sunday night in Indianapolis in the mid 80s. There was nothing going on. It's like a ghost town. I remember one of them kicked the door on the Nat King Cole restaurant on the Circle, and he's like, "This place sucks." And so we get back to the hotel, and
How old are you, by the way, at this point?
I don't know, like 15.
Teenager. Okay, yeah, all right, got you. Yeah,
about the same age as my son who can't drive a car. And so me and these three dudes, Rich Kelly was the other player's name, and three of us walk back, and I don't see mailman anywhere. But then the team bus pulls up, and everybody's getting off that. And about that same time, another car pulls up, and mailman gets out of that car and gets into a black Mercedes that's parked right next to the team bus. And I'm like, man, this dude is avoiding me so hard. So I, of course, walk over to that Mercedes and knock on the window, the passenger side window. Window rolls down. It's, of course, this black tint. Window rolls down. I look in there. Mailman's looking at me. And I look in the driver's seat. It's Wayman Tisdale. Getting ready to go to the club together.
Does mailman sell you out? Does he say to Wayman, hey, this kid said the Jazz should have, or the Pacers should have taken me instead of you?
I don't know. I'm like, hey, Wayman, mailman, you told me you were going to give me your shoes. What's up? He's like, holds his foot up. He's like, dude, I'm wearing them. Like, I'm wearing them out. They're the only shoes I have. Like, are you kidding me right now? Like, why'd you tell me you were going to give them to me? Well, I didn't know. I was like, all right, man. Well, have fun tonight. I'll see you later. I like turn around like Charlie Brown, after Lucy pulled the football. And he goes, hey, man. He's like, what's your name? And I go, Steve. He goes, all right. He's like, I'm going to leave him at the front desk. You come get him tomorrow. And I was like, all right. And I was like, right. Yeah, the way this is going, that's not going to happen. So I went home, went to bed, got up for school the next day. Of course, the first thing I do is get the white pages out, the yellow pages out, and I look up the highest number. I call down there. Girl answers the phone. I go, hey, this is a weird question, but is there a huge pair of basketball shoes sitting behind the front desk? And she goes, what's your name? And I said, Steve. And she goes, yep, I've got them right here. And I was like, no way. So I went to school and I had to wait all day. And then I got, my mom drove me down there. We picked them up and I got them. And I was like, success.
And Wayman left one. So it was one from mailman.
No. Wayman's was a separate transaction at a separate time.
When you were telling him, hey, weren't the Pacers smart? They took you instead of Malone.
Yes, that's when I was kissing Wayman's butt instead of Malone. Yeah.
I could listen to your brush with greatness stories all day. We need RotoWire to fly us into the company meeting so you and I can just sneak off to the bar, drink old bourbons, and I want to hear brush with greatness stories the whole night.
I got a lot of them. But yeah, that one's a pretty good one. Yeah, I can't believe you left them. And I haven't taken very good care of them, but they're just deteriorating because they're all 40 years old. But
You don't put them in like the plastic box thing. You don't have some of your stuff is probably worthy of the plastic box stuff.
It is. But when I had my house in Indy, I was sort of rich back then because I didn't have a bunch of kids and I wasn't in the fantasy sports industry.
Kids
I had
ruin
like
everything.
a real job.
Yeah.
And I had this shelf around my pool table where I had all the shoes like up on the shelf, and like it was kind of badass. But then we moved to Georgia, to the middle of nowhere, and they all went in trash bags in the moving truck, and they've just sort of been sitting around ever since.
I installed in my sports cave in the basement a shelf above the TV for my bobbleheads. So it's bobblehead collections. I don't have the stuff you have, but I have some more amusing than valuable bobblehead stuff down there. But
my daughter's got a Braves bobblehead collection that's pretty sick.
Nice.
It's up there with the best ones I've seen.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, man. Well, I think we did it. We ran a little bit over, but hopefully it was okay for story time.
Absolutely. Let's close with a shameless plug for RotoWire. Fans,
do it.
If you'd like to see Dr. A's content as well as mine on RotoWire for free, go to rotowire.com/try for a free temporary subscription. No credit card needed. Just go to rotowire.com/try. Steve, thank you so much for having me on. I always worry someone's going to say, Ken, you're not qualified. Dr. A deserves better. So I feel like I'm sneaking in every time, and I love it.
Awesome. Well, I love having you. It's fun, and I'm glad we got a semi consistent thing going. And then Kamla and I are going to be back on Thursday at 10 a.m. instead of 11. I've got
OG starting early.
It'll be interesting to see if we both make it to the show on time, because Kamla and I are not morning people. But I have to be somewhere at noon. And
the great thing about Rick is, even though he's not a morning person, he still sounds like he's had 10 cups of coffee and ready to go.
Doesn't matter what time it is. He's yelling and ready to roll and good to go. So, all right, man. Thank you so much, and we will see you guys on Thursday. Bye-bye.